affect viewers who are susceptible to
what's up? How we
photosensitive
doing?
epilepsy and other photosensitivities. Viewer discretion is advised.
End's working. We're all good. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Yo, what's up? Oh, hello, Lexi, Fio. Good morning as well.
It's the first elimination day of playoffs, and 3 of the first seeds are on the chopping block. Hello, everyone, and welcome to day 8 of Masters
First seed
Shanghai,
goes home
coming to
today.
you live from the VCT CN studio. I am your host, Yingsu, and I'm joined by Mimi and Kakuka. You guys be having so much fun over there, so I thought I'll come and check it out.
Welcome to our dungeon.
It's a really nice dungeon. How was the tunnel? How was the cave that you were in? We kept throwing to the interviews with you, and you were always in that tunnel.
Honestly, I kind of miss it, but I haven't seen you guys in such a long time, I feel like, on the desk. So what's been going on? Fill me in.
A lot.
Yes,
the number 1 seeds are all cursed, except 100 Thieves.
You want to go all in on Fnatic
ridiculous.
based?
I feel like
playoffs has
maybe
been a little bit
there's
wild,
a curse that we didn't know. Maybe getting that
should be fine
experience
with that.
doing Swiss was worth more than we thought.
The Swiss curse. But let's talk about what happened at this stage of playoffs yesterday. I am wondering if Paper Rex is regretting the fact that they had first pick and they chose G2.
I am wondering
power
why
ranking?
you're wondering, because
It's hard at the moment.
Yesterday, we don't really see that they really had a read onto what G2 wanted to do. Yes, that first map was night and day. They came in super
Paper X going to be EDG? Yeah, Paper X should be EDG.
A G2 that was
It'd be a rough
EDG
tournament
might
for
be regretting
EDG,
some of their choices as well. I think Team Heretics came out and played a fantastic game. They had a great read on how EDG was going to play, and we saw a massive step up from guys like Woot and Riens, and it was a dominant game. I think EDG maybe letting that pressure get to them a little bit, and yeah. Moments before disaster was that choice.
I remember it all too well because they had the first pick. They could have picked anybody.
To be fair, first pick I feel
Yeah,
like
they
sets you
could've-
up for failure, because
they
no
could've
matter
picked
who
anyone.
you choose, if you lose, you're gonna get cooked on Twitter.
Well, apparently you could have chosen FUT, right? Because all of the other first seeds didn't make it.
I don't know if
right?
Paper X would have been as good against FUT though. I feel like it was a great style match for 100 Thieves specifically.
Well, hear me out. If Paper X wins today and FUT as well, we might find out in the next day.
Yeah, that would be a crazy matchup. I feel like in the lower bracket, I don't think anybody.
I mean, it would be crazy if FUT beats Fnatic today, but it is possible.
And the fact that Paper X in the
Paper
lower
X
bracket this
played
early on, I
bad.
think, is the biggest
Yeah, they
prize.
didn't
to
really
me. And
play
speaking of
too
these teams,
well.
this
Some of
is
the
current
normal
bracket and how
spacing was like
it's
a little bit
looking.
off for sure.
I will say though, the upper bracket is looking.
If you look at like the last 2 maps,
Yeah,
but
hear me out.
a lot of
G2
it was
versus
G2
Heretics.
doing really
I
good.
think that is to be one of a rematch.
Like,
ones that,
Icy was
back in the day
unreal
we
that
used
game.
to see in EMEA all the time, but today it looks so different, yet so interesting. And 100 Thieves and Gen G might be the match of the tournament.
It absolutely could be. Team Heretics really fell apart in the second 2 maps. The first time they
Team B
played
did a very
G2.
good video on Bind, but I think G2 were always going to win Bind. So I think
with this iteration of the team.
that's. I mean, it's
I
probably
slept
still a
pretty
fair
good,
video, but I
except for
think
yesterday.
the focus
Up until
should be on
yesterday, I was
Lotus.
having a
That should be
great
the
time,
map that
but then
should
it
have
was the
been.
double upset.
Yeah, but you know, I think that's
on
that's
paper
the
it
fun
should
of
have been
I also,
2-1.
I think it's way more difficult to do the pickings because we
Me and
don't
Webber
really
were
see
talking
the
about that
teams
Lotus a
play
little
that
bit
much.
because
We
it
only see
is
them, like, yeah, in the
risky how
regular
they
season,
play
but
it.
it's only like 5-6 matches,
And they've
then
shown
we get
quite a
into
lot
here,
of
so
it.
it's very difficult.
I think it's also hard to rate them respectively when you can't see them playing against each other till these international events.
Well, my favorite thing to do is put these to the test. You know, we need some hard scientific facts when it comes to how well these teams are doing. So
They make so many
let's do a
hero
heat
plays.
check
It's
of our
crazy.
number
Yeah, but that
one
is how they.
seeds ahead
That's how
of
they
the
roll.
Elimination day today. You two are going to rate the teams on this
Pete is here?
scale. I wish he was. You're going to rate the teams on this scale, and I want you to tell me how hot or cold they are looking right now. And let's start with
Moving the
100
camera
Thieves.
to the right.
100 Thieves, I mean, they've got to be rated highly. They came out, they picked into FUT, they had a great read against them. I mean, Cryo dropped 30 on the Brimmy in map number 2. They look in form to win a tournament right now, Bea.
I think it's just beautiful. We saw EU as well. I think that he was outstanding.
Be surprised if Paper X play
also
Lotus
coming
today
from
with a
the
brand new
international
comp.
scene for the
I mean,
first
that's the
time.
thing that
They got a very good
thing that
read,
they're
and
really good
it's
at.
a team that you cannot doubt just because they came in
They can
so
just change
strong
instantly
with
and it can
such
be
clear ideas into their
real
opponent's
good.
pick, and they knew everything and what to do in every single round. So to me, I don't know where we're gonna put the rest. I know 100 Thieves has to be on top.
Yeah, the individual form was there, but what I really walked away with was seeing how confident they were and how good their reads were. And for that
Make a
reason,
video on
I'm
how
out of this
drilled
world on
they
100
are.
Thieves.
Okay.
I'm putting
Yeah,
them right
that could
at
be
the
a thing
top.
for you.
the hottest I could possibly be on a team.
People do just think they run around.
Yeah, is that
100 degrees?
reasonable?
100 degrees? I like it.
I mean, that's a problem for you. Sometimes they do run around. Like sometimes they literally do run around, and then it is like fast pause, and then they'll start playing normal.
It was like that, but what we saw.
I think that's the issue.
It was a
There'll always be stuff against them.
Map 1 was great.
Yeah, hear me out. Map 1. I was like,
weird. I don't really
Jesus,
care about it, man.
Stop. Like, are you really going to do this?
Maybe in
again
the
from,
off season if it's
any
still
kind
like
of,
popular.
Agent, but I was really surprised that they didn't have what it took. And maybe, you know, again, I think that they're going to regret picking J2.
Yeah, I think they also got kind of exposed for some of their ideas. I mean, I think these double duelist comps, especially also what they were playing into this final map, were really getting exposed by a G2 who's been playing super on meta stuff, who's super coordinated, and I feel like you have to drop the hotness for PaperX after watching that. Lower bracket runs are hard.
Yeah, I think that both, I think that both Heretics and G2 are the ones like coming out of the Swiss stage that we can
One
see
game,
like, the
Andy.
progression
Yeah,
and
pretty
then
much. I
actually
mean, when
had
there's
a
4
real
regions,
impact
have
on
no
them.
choice.
I'm
I
feeling
think.
like a 40%, but I want to see your take.
Yeah, I was thinking.
Like the thing is, I watch so
I'm
much of
gonna
this game that I want to
say-
play this game,
Yeah,
and then I
over
suck at this
here.
game
You're
because I
putting-
watch it all
you're
day
putting
and I don't get to
David
play it.
below
That I then want to be
50%.
good at this game that I
Vanessa,
watch all day.
I've got you, right? I've got you guys.
Then I have
come
no
on.
time
Over
to
50,
play
at
it,
least over
and
50.
it's just an
At
endless
least
cycle.
just a little bit warm.
So I don't even want to
that's
throw
fair.
another
I
game
think
into
that's
the
fair. I
mix.
think they underperformed.
D6, thank you the 50
I'm
months.
very open to changing my mind today.
Okay. All
I
right.
think they'll win
Prove
today.
me wrong. I'm so down for it. I
just
love
think
being
below
wrong.
50
There's
Yeah,
nothing
pretty much
below
just
50
content
is
and
a-
message
feel
people
like the contrast
D-Syncs.
to 100 Thieves is
Just put
probably
yourself
the
out
biggest.
there.
I don't know, man. I think that's
We did a
reasonable,
big
but let's
talk
not
about
even
this in
have
Coach
to scale,
Potatoes.
right?
All right. Okay. Well, I feel
in
like
like
this
a
next one
Ask
is
Me
a
Anything
bit
with
less
Minnie.
controversial. Where are you going to put them? But
But you pretty much just got to put yourself out there.
I'm not super high on
Anti-teams
EDG. I mean, they
do
looked
content.
really bad in this series, to be honest, right? It felt like
It's
the
never
pressure
been
was getting
easier to
them.
get
They were playing
noticed
these
for this
super
kind of
slow
stuff. That's
attack rounds where
the
they're
good
running out
thing.
of time. Individuals aren't stepping up. This was not the EDG we've come to expect at international events.
Yeah, would you talk about the, running out of time? We know that they were going to be slow, but in so many occasions, they were their biggest enemies.
It's not me, it's the server. No, Natey, trust me,
There
it's
is a
me.
chance that they have
Like,
two
it's
days of
100%
tournament,
me.
Right? Like they're playing today again. Everything is
Can't
on
even-
the line.
can't even
The
hold
crowd
a
is going
mouse.
to be
Can't
completely
even-
insane. Are
I
they
lose every
going to
angel.
overcome that mental block that they had yesterday? Because they were coming alive. It's just too late.
Yeah, and when I say
is for
that,
sure.
that's comparing to their own benchmark they've
And
set
she
for
didn't feel
themselves.
it.
Because consistently, every global event they come to, they get better. They get better. They're improving. They're playing closer games against the best squads internationally, and this felt like a big step back for me. So for that reason,
Yeah, we have
I'd
two
probably
Ask Me
put them
Anythings
below PaperX in
D-Syncs where
terms of
we actually
current
literally
heat.
both talk
especially
about the same
if we
subject
take like the
twice.
comparison with FPX and
There's
how
a
the
gym
big
routine
switch, I
going,
think
dude,
that
so
everybody
much
was very
better
excited
now
to
that
see,
it's
timing
like
is
But I
two
think
games
the
a day.
gap between them and PaperX is bigger than this. I think PaperX, I think we might have
This
underrated them.
next couple of weeks
Okay.
are pretty
Move 'em
good.
up,
I think there might be like
move him up. Come on, move
Move
him up.
them up
Cold
when you start
water,
talking about
and
Fnatic.
she.
All right, move him up. You can talk about
Not
Fnatic as we
warm
move
water.
on.
Okay, so the last one is Fnatic, right? We knew that they had like the
I think
most
FNS
difficult
will
opponent,
fix
the one that
energy. I
nobody
think
wanted
they'll
to
look
play
good,
against, and it was
but I
Gen G.
don't think
Again,
they'll.
I think that we got
I
a
don't
little bit
think
of that. Yeah,
they'll
that
get
first map, oh my
playoffs,
God, they're
considering
so here,
where
they're
they
so
are.
comparable to what happened.
They gotta win every
with
game, so
PaperX.
I don't think they
And
get playoffs,
the
but they'll look
difference
better.
between that and the last two maps, they ran out of fuel so fast.
We gotta be
Some of the
pretty
plays were very
realistic.
uncharacteristic, and everything that we were
They
praising
they
them
gotta
for
win
fixing
4
for
games. I
playoffs
think
in
they
the
lose to
EMEA
Sentinels.
was gone somewhere. We just hope that it's still there because they will need it if they want to do a lower bracket.
It
round.
seemed like they were winning like more eco
like
rounds than they were gun
Well,
rounds in that
FNS
series. It was
and some get
really
dropped if they
sloppy
don't
stuff
qualify
towards
for
the
champs.
end. But
I think what'll
I'm
happen
pretty
then
hopeful
is
for
it
the
will
future
just
for
be
Fnatic. I think we saw some really good stuff, especially in the first map.
FNS
in their
gets to
prep,
build a
in
team.
the attack side, mid-round,
Because
and
whatever
for
they went
Ghoster.
for this year
I'm
was a
not
disaster.
super low on this team, but I am a little worried by the crumble.
Okay, but where do you put them though?
I think I kind of in line with PaperX for me, but I'll defer to you on
Honestly,
this.
Cheddar's
are
also
they-
dropped. Nah, that was people
I think
retweeting
they're
something
on
from
this.
like.
Slightly above PaperX.
3
I rate
years ago or
Gen G
something.
higher. I think they're a little
Kenny
above
Jones,
PaperX.
thank you so much, man. Thank you, thank you. Appreciate the gifted,
I'm
by the
not
way.
mad at this, but now I also
Nate's
feel like
here
if
to
you
say
would
thank
put
you,
Put
love
them up
it.
a little bit,
Honestly,
right here.
I'm
Good
not
on,
mad
Nikki.
about any of that except PaperX. I'm just, as a paper girl,
Gonna advance with 5
just
wins?
Looks really close to
Yeah,
100
it might
Thieves,
come
and
down to
definitely
maps,
rate
right?
them
I think it's also
lower.
because of the size of the logo.
It is. They're
Just
big
think
logos.
think about that.
All right. I mean, if you guys at home agree or disagree, let us know. Let us know because coming up today, we've got back-to-back elimination.
Yeah, I saw that
matches. No
clip.
matter what,
I saw that
we
clip
are
of
gonna
Baby
lose
Bay and
a
Frost,
#1
where they looked
seed.
at the tweet and then they
I don't
just
wanna say
yapped
this,
for
but we have
like
to say
5
you
minutes
have
on
to.
something that
I'm
isn't
not even
happening.
the EMEA
That was
squad,
so
but it doesn't
funny,
matter.
bro.
Yeah, as you guys see, Fnatic, they're playing
Professional
against FUT.
yappers.
EDG will be taking on Paper Rex. And all of that brings us to our MasterCard fan poll. We want to know which team you guys think can pull off a lower bracket run. Scan the QR code to cast your vote, and we have the results in just a bit. I just want to say that only one team has made the lower bracket run. That was FPX, the EMEA FPX. So take that information for what you will. Also, tell us who you're rooting for by using the hashtag.
That's true. It's been done once.
Masters, so we can feature you here on the broadcast. Who do you think the fans are going to vote for here?
I think
Paper
it's
Rex.
got to be Paper Rex.
Yeah. Yesterday we had a poll, and it was like, what was the duelist that is going to
Any chance FUT or EDG win today? I mean, yeah, there is.
Of course. I mean, they have so much experience. They have such good players. You would think they'll bounce back from that game. Fnatic, though,
Has my day been good, dude? But I've literally just woken up, so hasn't had much chance for it to go wrong.
They ran that back to top 4, almost made it into that lower final as well. They're good in these situations.
And you think about the experience and the
What do you think happens to Demon One? I think he chills for the whole year and then comes back
so many
end of this year.
On their first encounter, that they're gonna have what it takes to bounce back. So because you know they have it, especially under with the amount of experience that Fnatic and Paper Rex have, that they can be under this pressure and still make it.
That's what I think.
Imagine if Na'Vi end up in the 8-3 league and get singular limb. Yeah, they might actually get singular limb again, but they should be fine.
In China, in front of the first
Dude, that game's gonna be wild, by the way.
In Shanghai, it'd be so sick.
I really respect
the
that.
third, 6th,
but I'm glad
and
you guys
4th and
mentioned
5th
because let's
singular
talk about
limb
them
game
in
for
this
champs.
First elimination match.
People are gonna feel
they will be going
brutalized.
up against FUT. I sensed a little bit of copium here in the conversation we had, so why not play a game of truth or cope?
100 Thieves favorites at the moment,
familiar with this, this is how it's going to work. I'm going to give our lovely analyst here a statement, a truth or cope statement.
Quavers, thank you so much for the 3 months.
If they think this is going to be truth or this is going to be cope,
thank
and
you,
obviously
man.
it's going
Appreciate
to
it.
all be related to our matchup between Fnatic and FUT. Let's just get things started with our first statement, and that is Fnatic were lucky to beat FUT in the VCT EMEA playoffs.
They only won 2 pistols.
Cope. Yeah. It's actually a very small cope that I've written, but I would say that statement is a big cope. I think that while they weren't playing in their best form, they implemented some good new comps that they were playing really well, and I think players are peaking at the right time to win that series. And it was what, 3-1? Some of those maps were fairly dominant. I don't think there was
what they've done with new lineups.
I think that the reads
probably gonna rate Sadak as your number 1 IGL, really.
The preparation against FUT, especially after FUT being a team that changed
and
so
then
much in compositions
probably
during the season. I was very, very surprised that Fnatic had so many.
Then maybe Boostio.
So, it's cope.
Then we got to say
3-1 comes into it, right? Because it was a best of 5. I feel like maybe in a best of 3, an element of luck could have come into this. But it does feel like, though, since that run,
Boostio's giving him run for his money. I think Zix does a lot as well. I think Boostio's insane at like mid-rounding and just calling the right strats at the right time. But I think Zix does a lot, from what I can tell. Because when Boostio did an interview where he was just talking about the stuff that he doesn't have too much of a strat brain, that he just calls stuff. And I don't know if it's just like a play, but he's pretty honest with a lot of stuff he says. So
when they were at their peak, they were the squad
I
leading
think
the meta,
it's
and I think they're trying to do
good
that
amount
again,
of
which, in my
Boostio
opinion,
is
a good
enabled
direction for
by
this team.
Zix, from what I can
Out of
tell.
all of that, and even though the comparison is so big between the group stage and the playoffs, is the individual stage. We saw Dirkus struggling a lot in some of the rounds, but also having very Dirkus plays, you know, the kind of a duelist that back in the day everybody was looking at and be surprised with. Same goes for Alpha, same goes for
really
Leo.
good as well.
To me, it's more that yes, they by fixing the mic.
Will I be a football pundit? Nah, man, I don't care about football.
More comfortable, and it's even like the small things wouldn't.
Best coach, we don't really know. Zix has got to be up there. Potter's definitely up there. Mini's up there.
Also started
There's loads
on the
of good
fact that they
coaches.
lost to FUT on that Lotus when they were playing that insane Lotus comp.
Sure.
That
can only
did
really
not
judge
need
a
to
coach
work.
from
So
like
I
2
feel
teams.
like
I do feel like
they were
playing that comp.
have the
I feel
answers.
like
Yeah, they were off that day, and also
which is
I
hard
think
to do. There's not too many of them.
The first time is actually difficult. Really, normally your protocols
Eng,
on
yeah,
that,
Eng's
especially
definitely up
defense,
there.
really
Eng
heavy
did
on the
great in
flood
2
retake.
teams.
The stage is actually super disruptive to that, and FUT is a team who already plays a lot of that contact style. I think people might be reading a little too far.
Alex, yeah, I think Alex is good.
Well, earlier
I can tell he
today,
does a lot of good
Vigafab
strats.
checked in with Yuta J, so let's hear what he had to say.
MCE, yeah. Great.
Hey, Adijay, it's good to see you. Now, you're up against a familiar opponent today, so can you let us know what's changed since the last time you were up against Fnatic?
I think nothing has changed. Like, they are still playing with same game plan, and we will play with same game plan. Just we're gonna see who is better.
All right, it all comes down to it. Good luck.
Thank you.
Well, that sounds like they didn't change anything since they last faced Fnatic. Is
Yeah,
that
which
wise?
isn't a good.
Sounds like
They,
yes.
but that's just a lie, is the thing also. They have changed their comps. That Lotus comp you talked about, they shifted that to something more reasonable.
Leo
I think
stuff,
they've
yeah, I'm not
come
too sure.
Into this event with some
See if he's
good
on the
ideas.
walkout.
No massive game plan shifts, but I think that FUT has stepped up
Alex
from
yesterday,
the
yeah, he was pretty.
I was honestly
he was pretty
hoping that they
miserable.
didn't need to do all those crazy things. and
Watch
shenanigans
reels?
back in
What are you
EMEA,
talking about, like
because I would
YouTube
have
shorts and
loved
stuff,
to see
bro?
the
Dude,
reaction
get
of the
your
team coming in with
TikTok
all
brain
the
out of
bread
here,
onto
man.
foot and then stumbling onto a stage
Oh,
and
dude, if it's morning for you and you're out here
Lotus,
just
and then
dopamine
being like,
hitting as
"What is
well,
going on?
I
Why
worry
am I
for you,
trying to
man.
retake and there is a sage wall." So you know, I'm kind of sad. I want to see what else is there. We also heard Gaius here saying that they got some ideas from some other teams. That this against Fnatic, they should know exactly how they're going to play.
But
The
in this
attention
FUT
span,
versus
yeah,
Thieves game, I
gonna
think we saw
be-
FUT style
gonna be
get
brutal in the
exposed.
future.
They play way less initiators than pretty much any other team. They play a lot of solo initiator comps. They play out an initiator list, or at least used to
YouTube
on
chat, no,
Lotus,
dude, I
like
have
what
them
we
up
were
next to
talking
you.
about.
Don't worry,
And
I
think
have
we
them
saw
up
that
here.
style of minimal initiator utility get exposed, right? They were like sending one drone.
They're
and then
talking about
contacting them
learning.
behind it,
It's
and
nice.
Thieves was immediately finding the
It's-
right
it's very
timing to swing
civilized.
back in and shutting them down. That game plan was the big reason it was the stomp, and I think Fnatic can replicate that.
Well, I hope you have your whiteboards ready because
Yes.
I have another statement for you to decide if it's truth or cope. And this one
Let's hear
is CNED diffs Althea.
That's cool.
Oh,
Give me your pen when you're done.
Oh, you're done? Yeah.
There is straight.
So this
on
is
it. Okay,
a radio
okay.
station in Spain.
All right.
La
You
Cope.
think it's cope?
Yes.
I'm gonna diffs. I don't know about diffs, but I think there's
Oh,
little
Mimi.
bit of there's a little bit of truth to that.
Yes,
There's
we
a
have
little bit of truth to that. I think they're tough players to compare because they have a very different style, right?
Yes.
Alpha Yer is always on the Sentinel. He's really the late round player.
Not
Do you think there's a
always.
problem with
Sometimes.
Paperex yesterday?
He's going crazy.
Literally,
that's
map pool.
the thing. That's
Map
the
pool
thing. Like,
is
the good thing
the
about
whole
Alpha
problem
is
for this
that,
tournament.
Yes, he is very good on the Sentinel, but he has
Their-
been good on
their maps
everything
are
that
just
Fnatic has
gambly.
requested from him. Even
They
the
ga-
duelist,
like,
even
Lotus is
the,
a gamble.
I think you're.
And they
I
picked
think
Lotus.
that's
That was
more
the big
reasonable
worry.
answer. But I also think when we see step-ups from Cena, that's when his teams look the best, right? Like, he can be absolutely electric on Duelist. Again, they don't play as fast as style. We
They
see
were
a
always
couple
gonna
rounds
lose
where he's,
bind, really.
dashing
Like,
in
the
and
bind
doing
matchup we've
crazy
seen, they were always
shenanigans
gonna
like
lose
we're watching.
bind.
But generally, he's more of a
And
slow,
then
consistent anchor who's getting a couple kills as they
Lotus
slowly
was-
scale onto
yeah,
the
Lotus
execute.
is
He
just
just has
like-
fantastic mechanics. I think overall, Alpha is a player I would
It was,
want on my team.
More
But
than
CNED, I think, is the player.
Yeah, I mean,
with just the
pistols as well was an
stronger
issue.
pound-for-pound raw
Put that out there.
mechanics.
It actually really upsets me that in EMEA, the one time we could have seen the duelist
Their comp
head-to-head,
has to be played
CNED was playing a chamber
weird.
and Alpha was playing the race. So I feel like they owe us one at least.
Yeah, I
Just
think
one
Doesn't that
time.
mean they aren't
yeah.
good?
I think
But
it's a
individually
complicated
they're
head-to-head,
good is the thing.
but we
But
can
if
all
they get
agree,
a
I
if they get a
believe that these are
team
two
that bans
very
Sunset
important
and is
players. They're
good
the
at
two
like
best
some of the
players we
other
have
maps,
ever
then
I
they
will say,
can
especially
get
for their
wrecked.
teams. Like, you could not picture Fnatic having the success that they have without Alpha, and you cannot picture FUT getting here without Cena. That's what I mean.
I will say that CNED walked so Alpha could
P2
run.
just better than
I
pistols to
feel
everyone.
like
That is actually
Turkish
true.
player
That
just
is pure
looks at
facts.
CNED like he is the god.
He's the godfather.
Yeah, which I feel like he is. And of course, it's been so long since we see CNED lift a trophy, and he was there at the very, very beginning, and he did it back then.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, these two guys have kind of defined their country.
That
in
tune with
Valorant.
the
It was
Prime,
seen out
thank
in
you
the
so
early
much,
days,
man.
and now it's been
Appreciate you, dude.
Alpha recently.
Welcome into the Slug Club.
And it
Thank
is
you
a
for doing
rare
that.
treat that we actually get to see them play against each other at an international event. We saw it once at Champions. It's a common match in EMEA. But I think on these big stages, for these two players that have been the most successful international players from Turkey, getting this head-to-head here is always really special.
I think it's very funny because, as you're saying, even though CNED runs so Alpha
Walk
So Alpha could run.
Other way around. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
sorry.
Great
Sometimes English
analogy.
is English. Yeah. I think it's so critical that the gap has become so little, right? Because Alpha has gotten
Have
so
I been
much
following
experience
Tier 2 NA
that
at all?
that
Not
narrative seems
really,
from
not
4
like
years ago,
vaguely.
right?
Like, I'll
But
sometimes look
even,
at some
even
scores.
So, I think that Alpha is such a reliable
I've watched,
player,
like,
and you
what,
can see
2
it
games,
against
I'd say.
any opponent. He's also bringing most of the vibes to the team. I don't think we've ever seen him like feeling down. He's always like smiling,
happy.
hey guys, this and that. He'll drop 3 and be like, so good. Why are you coming to my side? Why are you coming to my side?
Do you remember Copenhagen when he debuted at his first ever tournament and Fnatic was like down in the dumps and he was the guy yelling, bringing his team's vibes up?
Would I
He's
value
always
more
been
as a
such
coach, star
special
duelist,
player
or
from the
star
first time we
sentinel
watched him at an
viper player?
international event.
And back in the day,
I mean,
now
honestly,
we're talking about
Jawless.
Woods, about Rians, but back in the day, we were talking about Alpha. He was the kid. Like he's
Like
grown
having
up
a-
with us.
He
Having an
walks so
Aspas is
fast.
crazy good.
Good run.
It's a lot of walking, a lot of
Zenith
running.
sprinted, so Alpha could run. So
What does Fnatic need to do to win today?
There we go, there
Just
we
make
go.
sure they
He
don't
was
go
insane
0-6
versus
pistols,
Gen G.
really.
Like, we just have to say that. He is the biggest reason that that match was so close. In the second two maps, where Fnatic's game plan started working less and they relied a lot on those individual like
They're in a
moments,
good spot.
He had a ton of those.
The multi-kills, man, the multi-kills. But I hope you guys are ready for the last statement here. We've had no truths from you, Kukuka, only copes.
Yeah,
and Mimi's
you're
had a
coping
truth and a
today.
cope.
Well, I'm coping.
And the statement is Fnatic are so back.
Define so back.
So back.
Why are you doing this to me? Man,
Oh, you
day
triple
one I
coping?
was like, hot take. Fnatic are running it back again, just like in Masters, and they have already lost.
I don't know why.
I don't even know why I am.
You are triple coping.
erasing. Yes, I am a huge coper. Pretenders.
Okay, the reason I'm coping is because when Fnatic was their best, again, they were the team innovating the meta. They were the team with the clear, like 4 best players in the world. They won back-to-back
Why
trophies.
4? What's wrong with Leo?
I wasn't talking
Damn,
about
dude.
Leo, Yinsu. Boaster is a great IGL. Let's put that out there.
Carry on, carry on.
But they were winning tournaments. They were consistently
couldn't
winning. They were
resist.
not losing to any teams. Their prep was the best in the world, and they're just not there yet. They're a good team, and
I
they're
just don't think
better
the
than
meta
they were
suits
at the
them.
beginning of the year, but I don't think they're at the level yet. We still see flaws in a lot of their comps. Their map pool looks like it has holes, and we saw this crumble in the game against Gen G. I'm not convinced that they are back yet.
So I think that we need to like think of like a timeline for this, right? Like 2023, it was like all up for them. Yes, they didn't get that last win at the end of the year, but what happened also is that during all this time, they didn't.
What's she doing?
Keep going, keep going.
They didn't really have. Another team that would go head-to-head in EMEA, the way that they were being challenged when they went to an
one-team region.
international. Yeah.
Yes.
Famously.
Yes. Yes. Well, not after today, but probably after tomorrow. Who knows?
One-team region.
But,
What is
but
it?
the thing is that
Heretics?
for such a long time, they didn't have a bigger opponent to be constantly playing up
There
against.
wasn't like a
And
challenge to
then,
push.
exactly. And then when 2024 starts, they start going down because
back to
there is a
Cypher.
lot of new stars and just
Now,
people
they got,
changing the game all the time.
Anthony, they
right?
got wrecked
So
a little
they're-
bit
they're
by-
like here,
by
here,
map
here,
pool.
slightly going up because
They're gonna be
still have
very
to
happy
deal
when
with their
Breeze
own
goes.
issues, right?
They-
adapting
they're
to the
not good
meta
on
and
Breeze,
everything that is
I'll be
happening,
honest.
while the rest of these stars are rising
Wait,
to the
who?
top.
I see KC Heretics. Who's the third one? Who's the third one for?
This is yet today.
Oh, okay, that
Oh,
makes
I
sense.
see.
I will say though, I know.
I mean, I was thinking of the American
I see
teams
this
as well.
and I just think a fun little roller coaster. Whee! That's what they're.
I know Mimi, you're a hater, but Munchkin, he
hater.
likes Boaster, and this is what Munchkin
I don't hate
had to say
Boaster.
after he lost against Fnatic. He said, "I'm thrilled to get a win over one of the best teams in the world. It became very clear to me how Boaster is a master class IGL. We'll do our best in our next
Let me
match."
defend myself. Let me defend myself. He is a top 3 IGL in the world. He is an amazing IGL. He lifts his players up. He has great game plans. I do wish he would shoot his gun a little bit more sometimes. But that's my one complaint.
Never
you know?
heard that before.
The other
It's
top,
the first time I've heard
a
that.
lot
And
of
that's
other
it.
top
I mean,
IGLs
you
are like,
gotta
yeah,
say,
Boaster-
Vanessa just got re-signed.
But Boaster on Reyna every game? That's true. The
Don't do
support
him like
Reyna does
that.
go hard.
What?
Do not do
Fnatic
it.
were good at
Fnatic
Haven.
is a great
Yeah.
IGL.
You're the goat.
You
You're
are
the
the
goat for
goat.
us,
You're the
yeah.
goat.
Yes, literally.
Fnatic-
He made me believe in an entire team.
Finesse is not here, but Boaster is, so let's see what he had to say to Mika Fabs.
Hey, Boaster. Good to see you. You seem to be in good spirits. There's a very big match coming up right now. There's been a lot of talk comparing the Fnatic today to the Fnatic of yesteryear, say winning back-to-back international events. So what are your thoughts on that?
I think we can win an event. I do believe that we love a lower bracket run. We just got to find our crazy form. 9, 2, 4, click the drum. Yeah, that's it.
I love it. Good luck.
Shout out to 80s. They get
How is
they
he
get a little
still-
mention there for those of you that don't
Is this
know
how
what
he
that was.
warms up?
That might be why he's not shooting. Yeah, that's why he can't shoot, Mimi. He's giving you the evidence.
Besides the IGLing, he's also like the original vibes guy. The like energy he brings to this team.
Energy?
Energy.
This is literally only for him, man.
We just want to talk about energy.
They're saying it's a vibes guy, but literally no one on his team's
Oh,
looking
okay.
at him.
Actually,
It's
I'm
just
super
for
down
him.
for that. But are you guys down to talk about Leo, maybe?
Sure.
I am always down
I'm
to talk
always
about
down.
Leo.
What do we think?
He's damn good.
Yeah, he's damn good. I think that he's still on that brilliant form. I think that when we talk about reliable players, we were talking about Alpha, and we have to talk about Leo. He's incredibly consistent. His utility always pays off, and individually, man can shoot.
When
Man
Haven
can
comes
puke.
back with a meta be similar,
There's no- you're contrasting two, though.
yeah, teams will probably run something similar.
You're just giving him
It's
confidence.
interesting,
I
man.
am, yes. I
Because
am.
And I love that.
at the end of Haven, really, if we looked at off-season tier 2 stuff, like Viper was dominating Haven at the end. So teams might be tempted to try Viper because it still kind of works.
He's the reason,
Like they
in
protect
my
the
opinion,
VIP.
that Fnatic
I
won
actually think
in the
Haven
end.
might
If
be
he
really
did
fun
not
at the
have
moment because people
the
might be
flu
trying
game he
a good
had
amount of
in
stuff.
that grand finals, Fnatic would have been playing through the Swiss
Because
stage.
Neon's pretty
Yeah,
legit
I
on
mean,
that map
and-
as well,
and
and
maybe,
Neon's getting a
maybe
buff.
the outcome would have been better, but we'll never know, right?
Do you reckon anybody would have picked them if they did actually play through the Swiss?
Could you imagine if you had to choose between Fnatic and
Gen G and
Gen G? It
Fnatic.
depends also on the form that we see them during the Swiss stage, right? Like if they had very
You might still
close
see
games
teams
and,
play.
you know,
Yeah,
it
G2
would
will
have
still
been
play
very
the
contended.
Haven stuff.
Maybe.
I actually think it might
We'll
have
play
been good
Viper
for
on
them to
Haven,
build
yeah.
confidence. I'm a big believer
Doesn't change
that
much. It
going
just means
straight
they
into
can't
playoffs
do
is
like
actually
a
downside for a
default
lot of teams, right?
with their
I think that
Viper
warm-up
smoke.
time is huge. Adapt to the food, adapt to the hotel,
But
adapt to the
they
life,
saved it a lot
and
anyway.
get some match experience.
Like the amount
on
of
the
times they
stage.
actually
I
picked
think
up their
it's great for
smoke
teams.
and
I
then
think it's
used
not
it
about
somewhere
warming
else
up, sorry.
wasn't
I think
actually
it's not
that
about warming up,
much.
It's about not losing
sometimes
the
over
tone
towards
that
long
has been
C, that
set,
was about
right?
it.
Like everybody, like maybe they like just like heretics.
Who,
They
IGLs
have
to
like
Gen G,
one day
Munchkin?
track, and then they're all the time just playing. I mean, exhausting.
We heard it
but
from
valuable.
Boaster himself. He said it many times in interviews where the reason that they felt
Half
like they
Eaten,
didn't make
thank you so much
Madrid
for the raid,
is
bro.
because they
Your
only
stream was
played
good.
2 games at kickoffs. They needed more time to warm up. They also spoke about how their off season where they didn't play at all kind of played into it. And I think I agree with you. Not playing at all here and then having to go up against Gen G straight away.
Can
They
Haven
are the
be
only team I can
ISO's
remember
map?
that has done
No
a
map
run
is
from
ISO's
playoffs
map,
through and
really.
through when
Like
they
honestly,
won
Ascent
Tokyo.
is ISO's
But I
map,
definitely
but
think in their
other
current
agents
form,
are better.
Not coming off of, say, already having played an
Need
international event
a big
of
buff
lock-in
for
when they
ISO.
won Tokyo.
Gecko
is a bit of a
Ballad on
downside,
Haven, yeah.
But they've now had a game. They have some stuff to VOD review and learn from that Gen G series. And I
Cool
think they
dude,
have a really
188
favorable
with the
matchup
Prime as well.
against
Thank you so
the
much,
most
man.
familiar
Welcome,
opponent you could
welcome.
possibly get.
Thanks
Yeah,
for doing
well,
that, bro.
It's time for the results of our MasterCard fan poll earlier. We asked you which team you think will
Like
make
Discord
a
Infamous?
lower bracket
I imagine.
run. And what a surprise this is. I think
profit.
you guys were spot on. PaperX followed by Fnatic.
I mean,
Yeah,
I think
I
it
can
makes
do
a lot
that,
of
of
sense
course.
because of what we're saying. I think people are just, they really want for PaperX to have their moment, to finally win a trophy. And on the other side, I think that the copium and the hopium is still very high for Fnatic.
EDG over FUT? I'm surprised by that.
Man, I think it's also because of the opponent. Like, if FUT want to win, they have to start off by
bro, of
taking
course.
Fnatic.
Good cax, hello, mate.
I think EDG over FUT is not surprising in the slightest. FUT got dumpstered by 100 Thieves last time. EDG, I think you have a lot of kind of the like outside of game factors of like home crowd, of building momentum, all that stuff that I think fans really tend to value. And even though they had a really bad loss, we've always seen them step up.
Classy
in
8,
these
thank
lower
you so much
brackets
for the
before.
9
So I
months.
just think that's reasonable.
I just think that it's, if
Thank
FUT
you.
were to be
Aim
Fnatic,
for the
you
Fnatic
know,
game.
oh, that's a bit of a surprise. But if EDG were to be PaperX today,
I hope both
I think
Had you buff ISO? You just make sure the wall works like Harbor Wall, like you can stop
And
it.
the fans,
And then it has a lot
There
of
we go.
uses.
Do you guys want
You're
to
not
give?
delusional.
You
You're
want
not.
to give some your delusional predictions today? I want to ask you. Who
I
you
have
think
no
is gonna win.
delusions. I have only reasonable preds.
Which is?
hope
Let's see them.
We don't have them, so I'm going to ask you to tell me them.
Del-
PaperX is winning.
Delusional Prez, wasn't she 80%?
Am I delusional? I voted the same. I'm not going to lie, but I am very tempted to just say at least one upset today, right? Just
Which one is more
one?
likely?
Which one is most the second one?
Really?
EDG
Yeah.
PaperX.
EDG
No.
PaperX, the more likely
I'm with you. I
upset.
think FUT. Yeah, I agree. I think FUT have a better chance.
Yeah, I
of
mean,
beating
FUT
Fnatic.
again, the same thing. Familiar opponent. They've played them a lot. Fnatic looked in a little bit of rocky form. A lot to learn from
Dear
the
Fate,
last
thank you so much for
Boring,
that.
boring,
2 months.
boring,
Yeah, I think we get no upsets
Boring,
today.
PaperX from favorites to gone home in 2 days.
My favorite thing is walking into this room today and you being like, I love this country. I love it here. I love it here. You love it here so much. You think
I love
EDG
this
could be
place.
PaperX?
I never want to leave. Yeah, Yes, I need EDG to win.
Okay, so Kakuga is EDG's number one.
Can you hit like a Jayo EDG? You can like pan.
Yeah.
Jayo, come on.
Look down the camera. Give him some luck.
How is it?
Jayo.
Jayo, EDG, Jayo.
Look down the camera. Where
That
is
one?
it?
Jayo. I don't want to scream because then there's people in the room and they get scared when I scream.
Honestly, imagine if it happens.
It's
imagine
me, I'm people.
If it happens. I am down with this. I am down with this. But the wait, it's over. It's time to get this thing started because today Fnatic will be taking on FUT and
Riv,
PaperX
hello,
will
mate.
be going up
How you doing?
against
You're up late.
EDG. Masters Shanghai Elimination Day starts right now.
If they lose against EDG, you're out. Yeah, EDG had a shocker performance as well. Problem is EDG should look better than they did. Bonkalizer, thank you so much. Appreciate the 11 months. And then maybe it will be close and then everyone might lose a lot of faith in PaperX. Okay.
比赛之后感觉肯定是不好的嘛，觉得还好吧，就是因为这是我们 VCT 跟常规赛的场馆嘛，平时差不多也有很多支持我们的人。
Feeling a little bit sad, I guess. I think we started off really strong, just ran out of energy.
One of them between PaperX and EDG is going home.
But I'm really excited to play against EDG.
我觉得跟 PaperX 打就相当于，因为我们大家都是老朋友了嘛，也是老对手了嘛，就是他很熟悉我们，我们也特别熟悉他们。
We have played them many times, and every game was always really close. But in Madrid, they beat PaperX, so hopefully I can help them get their revenge.
我觉得制胜他们的方法就是把枪瞄准，只有准心就 OK 了。
I think I'm definitely confident because it doesn't really matter who I play against. They have the home crowd buff now, but I think we can win it.
我无数次梦到这种场景。
Nomi, thank you so much, man. Nomi 5. Appreciate the whole year, bro. Thank you for the nice words as well.
You go lower, actually. When you go to lower, you have much more match, and I just want to play like more match because we are the best team in this tournament, and I just want to show.
Ya zaten bizim takım gaz ile çalışıyor.
Alpha always says this, though. Alpha literally always says this, even for the tournaments that he won, to be fair. I'll give him that. He says he hates coming from like being top seed because he didn't get to play much.
They have really good players, they have good aims. I just need the still best Turkish player in the world, and I just want to show them.
Bir Türk kardeşimize karşı oynamak güzel bir his ama sonuçta lower'dayız. Kaybeden biri evine dönecek. Alfajer kardeşim, şu turnuva yoğunluğu bittikten sonra gel Çeşme'de beraber bir takılalım.
Yani ya siz Türkiye'ye gideceksiniz ya da ben Türkiye'ye döneceğim. Ve Türkiye'ye döneceğiniz için çok özür dilerim.
XLR 95 as well. Thank you so much, bro. Appreciate the 8 months. If PaperX don't win anything this year, do you think PaperX will make roster changes? Nah. I think they stick with this team for just a long, long time. And I think that the org isn't like DRX, where it would be like, we have to get a win. I think they'll kind of just look at it and be like, wait, we're making a profit in this year? That's kind of sick. Most of their contracts are locked into 2026. Yeah, but that doesn't change too much, to be fair. Like, orgs will kick people anyway.
This is the position that no team wanted to be in.
Okay, Leo's actually in the World Cup now. Good.
Playoffs, but both of these opponents are very,
wait for Mini
very
to get
familiar
there.
with each other, and a matchup we have seen many times.
Even outside of the region, these teams have played before. Fnatic eliminated FUT in this very position in their first ever playoffs back in Champions last year. They have a chance to get revenge now against the Fnatic, who looked a little weakened at the end of that Gen G series.
We're gonna get the Lotus, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, looking at this map pool, The Lotus map number 2 here. This is one where FUT was playing that weird comp. They've now changed away from the stage, but this is home territory for
I mean,
Fnatic.
yeah, they got annihilated
It's looking
last time.
scary. Also, if we go to the last one, if we go to Ascend, anything could happen in this map. But yeah, I mean, for so long,
You would expect
Fnatic was the golden
Fnatic
child of
to
EMEA
know
in
this, but we'll see.
2023. Now,
It was
of
kinda
course,
close
they wanna
last
take
time.
that title. If they want to be the EMEA team, it has to start today. They have to stay in the tournament. Starting off on Split, though, this is a map that we saw against this with these two teams when
What
they
about
played
the Fnatic
in
roster?
those playoffs.
If they
And
don't
let
win
me
this
tell
year?
you, that came very, very close. We were talking about
I don't know,
Alpha,
man.
and I think
The
that
thing
he
is,
has
in
to
this
come on
game,
top, because dealing
90% of the
with
teams
CNET
make
on
changes.
Chamber is an unknown territory, but it shouldn't be for Fnatic.
Yeah, Fnatic is familiar with this composition. I think really the biggest key when you're playing on your defense side against FUT is being really proactive at reclearing space. They're always going to be going for these like late contact hits. They play a lot of 4-1s, but the guy who's going to be that one a lot of the time is CNET on the Chamber. I think he's definitely the danger man in this match.
Yeah, I want to see them be more proactive as well, because the last time they faced each other on Split, Fnatic, they weren't doing the thing where they were trying to find the trips, trying to find where the chamber was, and CNET just had free reign on the off.
And remember, on the attack side, that proactivity is how 100 Thieves managed to
Team Paperx needs an
decimate
assistant
FUT
coach.
in that
I hear they have a guy helping them
I
though.
think also another force to be reckoned with if Fnatic are not to change the compositions. And we see Durka with the Euro
Thing
on
is,
the defense. I'm
with the
looking
coaching stuff
at
for
him.
Paperx,
We know that there is it
they
is
do a lot
difficult
of
to deal
stuff
with
that
if they
a
go
coach
very,
would
very
tell them not
explosive,
to do.
But I think that if he's feeling comfortable,
So
if
I
he's
don't know if it
finding
would,
the
like,
space and
I
putting
don't
on
know
the
if it'd
pressure,
work.
if he feels
You
good
gotta
playing
be
the
the
Euro,
right
because sometimes
person
we
to
see
fit in
him,
Paperx.
making some small mistakes, not being very sure. If he has polished all of that, he should be super impactful.
When we talk about the all-star roster that Fnatic has, I think the one guy who hasn't really been living up to that thus far this year has been Durka. He's had good matches. He's been solid throughout. He hasn't been bad by any means, but he hasn't
changes?
been the
No.
all-star that
So
Fnatic
Fnatic
had when they were winning trophy after trophy.
just
If he
went
could step
B
up,
against
go
FUT
demon
all the
time in this
time
lower bracket,
on
that's a recipe
attack.
for success.
One double
and
pistols.
with the attack here, again, talking about how CNET is going to be playing, we expected, a little bit of that Sentinel play. He's not going to go that much into the lurks. I'd be more concerned about as a captain. To me, it's going to be about the fight in mid in both of the halves. I think that the start is going to be so, so important. And looking at Leo, we were talking about him. He has to be number one to be dealing with CNET.
One of these two teams is guaranteed going home. It's a familiar match, but really the head-to-head to watch is CNET versus Alpha. The two best talents to ever
Don't I
come
hate
out
Fnatic's
of
comp?
Turkey have
I
stepped
hated
up
it
to
the
the
first
plate
time they
on
used
the
it. First time they
international
used it, they
stage
looked
in
like
this elimination
absolute
game.
bots.
Yeah, so let's send it over to
Second
your
time they
casters.
used
Give
it,
a
they
warm
copied all the
welcome to
Koi
Achilles
stuff.
and Paperthin.
And Koi had like
Thank
way
you
better
very
stuff
much.
than
Now,
them,
very
and then they
quickly,
looked good.
everybody, while we're on camera, screenshot this man.
The main thing that really helped Fnatic here is their attack always looked bad, and then they stole Koi's B
We'll be very
here.
happy. But now, let's focus up. Let's get ready to dive into this matchup. Rematch of that lower bracket final over in EMEA. These teams very familiar with one another. No compositional changes as we go into Split. The last time they played this in that lower bracket final, it went the distance, 14-12, going to Fnatic to close out the series.
Yeah, every time they played the Split this year, it's been very, very close. So certainly expecting another banger here to start out. You've got some pretty
Fnatic
big
on
compositional differences.
defense.
Desk was doing a great
We
job
got
highlighting it.
FUT on
CNET
attack.
on that chamber. You've got Durka on the Yoru.
We got
I think
Alpha
a lot of this comes down
on
to
the
me for
race,
Fnatic,
doesn't get to
just
play it
how
much,
well can
gets
you combo
raid
that
boss,
Yoru
gets
utility,
dropped the
particularly
ghost,
on attacker side,
buys
not
double
as
satchel, has
important in some
armor.
ways because you're able to spread the map a lot more with this Yoru. You can gate crash around a Durka, it's an opening kill.
That's that's a lovely first kill from him as well.
Out of the equation.
He'll go for a bit of a unique wall over towards middle.
There's Mr. Fallen just leading the way there. Stun across as the push game ready to come through. Alpha here trying to stay elusive. Both with some covering fire.
Supposed to dig. Oh man, look at the util. Look at that stun, bro. Look at that stun.
Mr. Fallen all on his lonesome with just 13 HP and a
Got the guy in hell, and it got the guy over towards main. That was lovely, bro.
Oh well, not the end of the world there. But this is something that I'm really
lovely
keen
from
to
Alpha
watch
as well.
for
Alpha hit the,
Fnatic is
would you say, hardest shot maybe?
rotation protocols,
And
the
honestly,
timings on when to go.
Duck
So
got
immediately
a
after
dink
Durka gets that
before.
first kill, he TPs over to the A side to sort of reinforce that, make sure they've got a little extra oomph if it goes that way.
Hey, leave inside, straight down, leave inside, straight down.
Yeah, okay, Boaster, let him know. One pistol round, but sure.
Showing off that.
Yeah, but I mean, Fnatic have to celebrate the pistols. They don't win pistols much. It's actually been the one thing that's been really letting them down. It's like, I want to say the easiest to change, but it can be hard.
That's gonna pull
They're allowed 2 deaths. Kind of allowed 3 deaths, really.
It's already looking good for Fnatic.
Flash going in behind Chronicle, faces back in towards main, finds one. And that's just going to be the cleanup, getting ready to come through. Shot into the leg.
What's going on, Durka?
Flawless anti-eco here for the side of Fnatic. Chronicle collecting 3. Very solid start.
You know what I'm already seeing here at Kilios is just good protocols. Just the way
You
that
said you guys
Fnatic
are
is
sleeping in
reacting to
Mandarin?
what
Wait, really?
Fnatic is
That's
doing.
sick.
You know, especially
Whoa.
you got to watch the initiators
Okay,
like
well,
Leo being able to maneuver himself around
after
the map.
not
You can
hitting
see
the
early
no-scopes,
contact with the fault line doesn't
Marshall
have an
turns
impact,
into an
but
op.
he's immediately coming to the other side of the
And,
map
I mean,
to help out if necessary.
basically buy v buy.
Doesn't play a huge role in that
That's
round,
been the one thing that
as
I
both
could
Durka and Chronicle
critique as
doing
well.
a
Like
great
this
job
third
on
round, they
that
have
A
some
site.
questionable buys, especially when they, I mean,
here for
especially when
Fnatic
they
going into
lose
this
a lot of
bonus
people in their
round.
second round.
Full rifles and operator. Only the armor going to be the big difference here between the two squads.
And this is
From
the side of the
FUT,
map
they
where
do this a lot as well.
Fnatic
Wall
is
over
really
towards B
stifling,
creates a lot of pressure with the
especially when you
smoke.
get Durka those early kills
And yeah,
like
they
that.
were not
Just a
expecting
huge
this,
pick, and then
and
he's
this
all of
is
a sudden
sick. Yeah, you
out.
see
You
them
don't know
pinging
where
it out right now.
he's
Durka
already
goes to the
TPing,
only
heading
spot
over
where
to
the
other
AWP
side of the
doesn't
map. So
cover.
if you're trying to guess based on where that op is, it's going to be
So-
really tough to try to avoid it.
They use the Viper Orb, the DRX made over towards B, but Fnatic already trying to punish their default on the big buy round. And it's like what a lot of the teams will do. You have like 2 rounds that you know you can punish stuff, and you normally try and bring it out on like the 3rd, 4th round. Obviously, you have more rounds where you can punish based on ults and stuff, but
they're ready to shut down this push. Well, shots coming through. Aftershock to further stave things off. Time going to be bought. Still 45 seconds remaining. Flash connecting. CNED with a jiggle peek. Swing it. Crack's going to be able to take down Chronicle. First step there for the Cypher, but Alfier just peeking into heaven. Takes out Fallen. For a little bit more. Boombot now on the setup. Leo here. Bottom rope. Taking one out. Not quite reacting.
yeah,
though, to
and
Crack's
there's,
push,
I mean,
but
this
still,
whole time
solid
both is
damage
just
dealt.
locking
Fnatic
down
with an
over towards
advantage.
B, so these two can play off each other. Big shot from Durka here.
Able to slip the net, but he's making some
Big
noise.
duel
and
from
Durka's
Alpha as
ready.
well. Yeah, not expecting this
Frags
guy.
catch.
And I
Find
think
Alfier
Durka
now
missed the
looks to try
shot.
to join in. They know that this Yoru is here. Shots coming through.
Yeah,
Somehow
double miss.
Getting away from that shot. Durka just can't quite make it connect, and now it's Boaster on his lonesome to try to close this out.
He's fast behind pretty early.
Now, they're not quite yet reading the direction he's going to come from, but with this lack of information, should be able to figure out pretty quickly. He either came from ropes or all the way around the map, so see how FUT wants to handle this. Still trying to suss out his position.
And even if they hear the tap, Pink Shell is available, but it won't be necessary.
He did a little bit of damage. Does CNED pick up the ops?
On board here in the 3rd round, not allowing
Doesn't
that
look
bonus
like it.
conversion, but still suffer some heavy losses.
Yeah, FUT just good awareness on this early rotation from Alpha.
Supposed to
or
change
excuse
his
me, from
crosshair? Dude,
Chronicle
I was going to say
through
that.
the
I've never
spawn.
seen this crosshair from him.
And that
Kinda
opening
like
pick
it.
gives them just a little bit of extra breathing room, because the initial protocols here from Fnatic are really, really good to use that utility to keep them stuck in B heaven. That's the whole plan there. And even if you lose Chronicle immediately, Durka TPs back towards their spawn, has the op there to hold down to make sure they can't rotate all the way back through defender spawn. So
Hey, Yesterday
there's
with
some
a good
things
read on
happening
this
there
one. We
from
get to the
Fnatic, but
outlaw. We got
it's
one.
just really good
Well,
patience
we
here
got 5
from
people
FUT
that can get one
that buys
shot.
them that round, winning some big battles in that back space behind the B heaven stairwell.
And because of the arsenal that Fnatic did have going into that round, now both economies a little bit wishy-washy. See, the Outlaw, the Bulldog, the Guardian in play here for the side of FUT. Stingers, Bulldogs as well.
That flash is
for the
pretty
side of
nice though.
Fnatic.
Pops at the bottom of the ramp so you can be
This
facing the
round
whole
here
time.
is very much going to impact the long-term economy for both squads.
Yeah, no, I love this Outlaw purchase. Has tremendous
Okay,
potential for
Satchel to
Yetajay.
break the
Do some
trip over
damage, maybe
towards
win
middle
one of
as
those
well
flank
though.
battles that he is so
Then Vision
wanting to
block
take.
and
Get
Skydog.
just a
Like,
little bit of
FUT
information
handled
seeing
this very
Boaster.
well.
That doesn't give you too much
Satchel,
on the defensive
Vision
setup
block,
right now of Fnatic,
Skydog.
as they're
Aggression
immediately
created
now
over towards middle, so
rotating
now there's
back
pressure
towards
for the
B,
split. Then just
leaving
group up
this
towards
2-3
B in here.
setup. It's going to be Boaster up in heaven. See how well they can handle this.
Spray across with Yetajay.
Yeah, and that's the one-shot gun we're talking about.
Chronicle through that one way. Captain now pushing forward. Flash coming across. Does get the catch here. Slowing them up as they get ready to go for this plant. Players here for the side of Fnatic.
Whoa. Whoa. 3 with his flash.
Yetajay, an Outlaw in hand, pushes out of the smoke. The right click.
Wait, what kind of flash is this for him to get
The Wolf
3?
just dancing around the outskirts of Boaster's hitbox. He manages to keep himself alive, and we're gonna have to see that back on the replay because the impact from Durka, that shut everything down.
Yeah, and it's the timing that he can use off those gate
Yeah,
crashes to
they got no
rotate
money,
just a
right?
little bit faster to get here a little bit sooner.
Oh,
Use
is
that
his
fake out
clone
to catch a
flash.
lunge.
That's what I have.
Huge. Again, a lot of the Fnatic gameplay
Damn,
here is
bro.
stall for the rotations, and they're going to come quicker than you expect because of that Yoru. And Fnatic doing a great job holding that round down, despite, like you said, kind of a odd buy. And now it's a
Yeah, forces his foot down to... whoa, double. Forces his foot down to Nico. Bro, Dirk is actually... Dirk is having an absolute game. Yeah, stun nade, that's a death as well, right? Ooh, didn't go far enough.
Gonna be eating quite a bit of damage. Just trying to stay stagnant here, just trying to stay silent. Got the headhunter, but only 2 bullets for it. That Boombot's about to scout him. Gets the headshot on the one, but then Durka playing up onto the corner, able to take him down, stop any further bleeding. Yeta J, noted, dead. Fnatic, 4-1.
Yeah, Fnatic here just
Do FUT call a timeout here?
what they saw the last time in an eco from FUT, and this time they challenge it. It's just a
Okay.
slow push
Maybe
up
they don't
and
need to call a timeout, but they at least need... They've seen 2 rounds where they've seen the Cypher util trying to get info over their stuff over towards B.
We're just going to win this fight. And
Like
Durka was
the
great,
whole
but on top
setup
of
right
that,
now
so
from Fnatic
just
was
a
pretty
quick
cool,
read
right? So
from Fnatic,
FUT
just
do
kinda
this all
saying,
the
this is what
time,
we saw
right?
previously.
Wall,
Let's see if we can
smoke,
punish it.
but then they have
See
one
Chronicle
round
now.
where they punish with the
Changing
op.
his util over
Op is here,
towards B.
punishes early,
Gonna be trying
and then
to
ever
play a
since
lot
then
of
they've
stall
had a
in the lane.
camera that spots
Toxic
over the
screen as
wall
well,
and
gonna be
spots
over there.
either side of the...
And
Actually, that's a
you
lie. It
have
spots one side of the
chamber
smoke.
ult, but Durka immediately, they're using this ult to try to flush players here, over in.
They used the... they stole the K-Corp. Stole the K-Corp insta ult round. Kind of sick. K-Corp used it 3 times. Where they just insta go over towards A with the Omen flash. Yeah, they did great on this. That's nice though that they've been stealing some stuff.
What a play there from Durka, setting himself up with a little help from Leo. Very nicely handled.
Oh, Alpha. Yep.
Ooh.
Caught with util
Yeah,
in hand,
caught off.
swings back in.
Good luck to Chronicle because he's going to get ulted here.
Suspecting that Chronicle is going to be here in backside. Does he just send it? Yes, he does. But already he's dead. CNET able to collect that. 2v4.
Whoa.
Okay. A 2v3.
Yeah, this is going to stop
Deal with
Plan
the
for a
spray.
bit.
He'll find one. Waits it out. Aftershock coming through. Forces him off the plant. But still plenty of time here to play through 4 foot.
But the
Swing
stun
out.
was good.
Able to collect one, but it's all on Leo. He
Not
can't
too
make it
bad though.
happen.
This is the 2 rounds that FUT have won right now have both been 4v5.
Yeah, despite the early
them
pick,
with the
despite
4.
the early advantage that it looked like Fnatic might be able to utilize. It's a good recovery here from FUT. This opener onto Alpha, just getting a timing, getting the showstopper. Add a captain, catching Boaster, trying to creep up the stairs. And then they pin Chronicle in the corner. He had no chance one way or another. Nicely timed, nicely executed. And every attack round win is huge for FUT. Is this comp for Fnatic generally?
Cena gets the op out.
defender-sided.
Fnatic,
Showstopper
2
off the
people that
rip.
get reset here.
Alpha here looking to get pretty aggressive as he makes his way over
Ew.
towards mid. Trailblazer trying to scout, but there's a lot of players corralled here, but in fact, it's just going to be a Boombot taken down.
Did I miss here?
Tour de force as well for CNED, watching that B angle.
Might just be a misclick.
3 players on site already, looking to, again, try to keep FUT
I
pinned.
think that might just be a misclick. There was no pressure over towards A heaven,
There,
right?
Paranoia does connect, but Leo.
Unless there was a Sky Flash that I
Sees
missed.
one. It's a nice flash in, and a lot of damage across. They just spam through the wall. CNET able to find
Whoa.
one. Finding 2.
Yeah, and Leo maybe should have got 2 there.
Open, cracks, wise to it. Good sense. It's a paint shell cross, but he has to be the one to recover.
Really went in for this.
Waits
Okay,
for the
this is
poison
a
to get
giant
invested.
2v3. Yeta J, if he gets set up, has ult, so you might see Fnatic go a little bit faster.
Makes his way back over. Plant now going to be coming through.
Tough 2v3 now. You have the Viper's Pit if you so choose as well.
Wow, they save.
FUT. Yeah, makes a lot of sense. You have that operator. Want to make sure you keep that for future
I mean,
rounds.
this is
just
a
great
lovely
crunch, great
round
timing
for FUT. They'll
from
take
the side of
this.
FUT. And even though
If you
Fnatic's
FUT here, you
somewhat
don't
ready
even
for
hunt.
it, it's FUT's turn this time to kind of remember what happened last time Fnatic tried to stall them up in B heaven.
This will be
They didn't have
2.
that extra angle
This will
from
be
Garage
1,
to clear a little bit
2,
of space,
4.
and CNET
So
finds a great
with this, they
timing there
can
with the tour
buy.
de force to shut
Right,
down
these 2,
Chronicle
and this can be a drop.
and open up
Especially as
tons
Dirk
of
has
extra
armor.
room. And Cracks as well, looking really, really good. He struggled mightily.
I feel like this is
Last time they
this
came
is
out
a
against
misclick
100
though.
so having him
These
come
2
out
rounds
hot
are a
on
little bit
this
like
race,
Alpha, to
come
be
out, start
honest.
popping
Alpha
off is a
missed time over
huge
towards
boon
heaven
for
with the
FUT
nade
Esports.
prior, and then ult
very
here.
hard line here,
And I
but
guess there was a
Things
Sky
have come through,
Flash.
FUT seemingly pretty aware of it.
It was either a misclick
Not gonna give him
or
the time of
there's
day,
a
not
Sky
gonna give
Flash
it
and
the
they thought they were
attempt.
going
They'd
A
love to take the
heaven.
operator away from him, but don't want to hand over any more charges towards that next dimensional drift. So FUT, a solid round win here, string 2 together. Now just 1 separating from tying things up. Like you said, on this attack side, the more they get, the better it is for
Yeah,
them.
Leo's gonna feel like he should have done better there.
Everyone's dying too fast.
Well, sometimes that happens. You take a bullet to the head.
Do be like that. Couple ults to speak of. Seekers one away from Mr. Fallen. Of course, still that Viper's Pit. One away from the Rolling Thunder for Leo. The Neural Theft for Chronicle. The Omens as well with their ults, but
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Dog doesn't see that far.
generally.
So
As this time,
it's a shame we didn't get a
playing
replay
at the top
of
the ramp is Durko with that op. But it's more of a 3-2
the ult to actually see why he
opening
popped
split.
it.
I think checking for aggression was FUT, having Mr. Fallen over there to back up Yedijay, just in case they got a little bit aggressive again with that Yoru. Have a little bit of extra cover, but
CNED, very clean on the movement, gets himself out of there. Minimal damage taken. Chronicle does get knocked down a little bit lower. Yep, push.
No way.
Bolster's dead.
Wait, what?
Dead in that position, but somehow turns it around. Just expecting it off the back of the parent.
How has he got that kill?
Back across to get himself out to safety. Reveal in. Leo able to play off that one. Crack's going to be taken down. Spots out a couple of
Holy
additional
flash.
players, but out of captain now finding Alpha here. Chronicle here on the site. Sends out the Neural Theft.
Whoa, that was a bit. That was weird because it's like, would you not just wait for the info?
Revealed in Durka.
I mean, Durka should have this kill. That was weird, man. He should have waited for the Cypher info before the breach shot.
paying dividends for Fnatic there.
Dude, Durka's farming though. This is like his. Do you know what's mad? This is his best game this year. And he used to do this like all the time. Maybe not this higher level. He's actually been a lot of kills.
Back over here, wait out the
He's had his worst year ever.
Getting away from FUT.
10 seconds left.
Yeah, and even though they win that opening exchange, they shouldn't have. The change in positioning of those trap wires for Fnatic worked a treat. They caught 2 players with it, should have had the first. But somehow Yedijay was able to get out of there and get the kill onto Boaster.
Should have waited for the plant. Nah, he could have died. He did the best thing.
And then the other trap wire, right at the front of B, catches a player. They're able to spam him down through the blocks, and that's a...
That's insane. Yeah, that extra bullet on the right hit.
For the feet and spray. This right here is huge. Getting cracks off the rip. And then again, having this Yoru makes it a lot harder to make plays like that Omen TP work, because that Yoru can stick around for a really long time over on the other end and use that gate crash to quickly get back to try to help out on a potential retake or defense of the other side of the map. Durka.
Been no timeouts, right?
Consider Trailblazer coming. That's going to back him off a little bit.
Does spot him. And now he's just back over here at screens. Flash in, not really getting a blind connection on anyone there. He's got 2 players committed to crossover at ramp. CNED trying to lead the charge. Moving away, shifting off that rendezvous, so doesn't have the fast TP back into sewers. Pit now going to be invested here, up in heaven, to try to take some control. Boaster spamming across.
Never really seen an ult from heaven.
Cannot. Cracks, able to collect him. As the Omen goes down. But how do they get themselves now onto the site? Is Durka still here? Alpha here, still in heaven. And now they're very much aware of it. As CNED falls.
Oh, Spike still got across. I mean,
it feels like in all likelihood they're going to have to try to just pivot across into vent.
I still don't really know where you want to go. Like, this Viper ult's cool to take a lot of pressure, but then kind of block yourself off here.
You could get a quick kill and back out, buy some time for rotations potentially, but still FUT considering how to make this work. Don't have any more flashes.
Fault line at the ready. Decoy sent the peek, the kill. Mr. Fallen dead once more.
He has no idea about the Omen. Oh, okay.
Somewhat unassailable. They finally are able to displace him. Leo getting juggled around. Attention pulled in multiple different ways. Ends up falling.
15 seconds. Dude, we gotta get the spike across. Holy, that was close. UTJ just saved them.
A 3-piece for him. The plant now with 4 seconds to spare. Chronicle
9 HP, 20 HP. It's a doable 1v3.
Here for 2 of the players. If you can isolate, pick them off.
Problem is, Cracks is the... Oh, okay. Wait, I thought they were playing this different.
So much more winnable for Chronicle. Shots here below.
Holy, that was so close.
Stops him from getting that next opportunity.
Yeah, let's concede that if he wants to op.
FUT again, 1 round away from tying us.
You gotta love the creative use of the Viper's Pit here by FUT. They gain mid control, so they know.
Yeah, I actually think did this have a gap where this guy could like walk all the way out to have
There's no
hell?
mid control at all with this setup that Fnatic is going for, and it cost them.
I would need to look at that to see the spread on Hell. Because I'm pretty sure a guy just managed to walk all the way down and jump into Hell. That's kind of sick. Tachi Shell with the Prime. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate you.
Towards that elbow area.
Okay, now we get a giant round. 5-4. This one's pretty much worth 2. Whoever loses this has to eco.
I mean, Chronicle did what he could, and the last time they played this map, it came down to a lot of clutches. But here so far, just been good, steady play, good counter reads.
Just a quick little.
Yeah,
versus
just got a
slow drift away from the angle. Swing out.
Whoa, man, Dark is so confident.
Completely disrespects the operators. Is that what's mine?
Wait, what's he doing?
He's
crazy, bro.
Turns for the flash, set up for the gate crash, try to get himself out to safety. Should it be necessary, but I think now FUT, they might be having to second guess his approach here onto the A site.
Right there. Boaster tucked in that corner is a great angle for a Paranoia. Once they get confirmation that there are players coming through, just need someone to watch that angle for him to get that info.
I mean, it's most likely Razor onto site, but 3 people here.
Cut sound.
Alpha goes looking over towards B. They need to get some info. Yeah, these 3 are going to feel alright.
That gives it away right there.
Well, there goes that. Showstopper now. In play, up over the top.
21 HP.
Seeking a target.
Whoa.
Connecting on a Boaster, but Yetiche just doesn't check the corner. Boaster collects his second.
Boaster with this thing.
Up here, above, but
okay, nicely handled in the end. I mean, Darker just kind of diffed him a little bit with the first original kill.
That's just good disciplined play from Fnatic and
yeah, they held strong here.
Cost FUT a lot in this round.
It looks like Fnatic have a bit of a read that when they take Heaven, they don't like to pivot anywhere. And I don't know if that's true or not, but it's what it feels like with how they're positioning and playing.
17, 6, and 5 at the moment here on that Yoru. I mean, the last time that they played that 14-12 scoreline, it was Alpha who was really keeping them out in front, who was able to help secure that victory, putting up an incredible performance on the Raze. But this time,
this is a hard timeout.
I don't know what he ate. I don't know what he did to prepare.
Doing it. At max, people are sitting at like 3-1, so this should be an eco here.
Right now.
And this is a huge boon for Fnatic. If Durka can really heat up
17-6, yeah, Durka's farming them.
And Chronicle as well, that is a disturbingly scary team to have to go up against because of how much firepower this team certainly has. And FUT as well, tons of firepower, and credit to FUT, frankly, they're having a great half. I am really impressed so far with the way that they're able to kind of use some of these setups against Fnatic.
They can both kind of do it,
and then they're creating their own space with stuff like that really clever Viper's
but mostly it would be Viper, yeah.
Stuff like that is really, really working well for them. I suspect they're losing a lot of these first
didn't pick up the op so they could get the outlaw.
Maybe a little bit concerning. That's something that really was a killer for them against 100 Thieves, but
and this could be an op if they
you
win.
know what? They're able to recover quite nicely, but now they've got to do a lot more because they are on an eco.
Okay, so FUT in the timeout, go back to their original stuff over towards B, but it just feels like Alpha's getting pure info. Sorry, Chronicle.
Players over there. It looks like something that FUT is considering trying to
challenge. Got the change up.
Push up. A wider angle here onto Ramen.
As a TP back to A, so we can get out.
Swing out, Durka able to find the second shot.
You're done.
Let's get tagged down to 19, but he gets his and he gets out.
Still though, they're ceding mid control for this. They got to be careful. Nobody's watching ropes. Cracks. It's kind of freely making his way through. Finally, Boaster starts counting for it. A good win for Mr. Fallen.
Dude, a little bit too aggressive there for
Durka is so
considering how
aggro.
low he was. Weapon not going to be recoverable though. His Alpha is still sat atop ramp, watching the angle.
His confidence in this has been.
It's going to come up.
I don't know. I haven't.
To Boaster potentially, it looks like if they keep drifting in this direction.
It's insane. I haven't seen it this year. That's for sure. To be this confident.
But again, all mid control.
He's 19 HP to take that peak.
Be heaven.
Would have been great if he got to the angle, though. The reward of it is huge. Boaster?
Gets off of that one now.
Yeah, Boaster's like, holy hell, I nearly got caught out with my ult. Or might have been Smoke, I guess. Smoke would have made more sense.
Grabbed by Yetiche, but nothing more to be dealt. Alpha here puts him down. Fnatic now 7-4.
Does...
FUT get ready to go into
I mean, I guess they op, right?
A last purchase to see if they can make
I'm pretty sure Leo can drop Durka.
Yeah, and you're not super close to any ults here for FUT Esports. 2 away from a Seekers. That's the closest you're going to have. Meanwhile, there is that dimensional drift for Durka again. Last time around, we saw him get very aggressive out of A main with it. Let's see if he's just going to kind of chill out.
Okay, so the timeout from FUT must have been for this round.
There's a lot of attention being put at mid here by Fnatic. Got Leo with his util, Boaster there, and Alpha to back him up.
It feels like wait, they go for the same one. Oh, I like this though. They're double planned for it. They had the original plan where they do the K-Corp fast strat, right, where the Euro ult, and then they have a flash behind it, whether it's here or whether it's sewers. And then this one, they have the ult, and they think it's the same one, so they run over towards middle, where it's a double push, and then they're gonna flash this area with it. So that was nice. They had a second layer to the K-Corp strat.
But they're not able to do any more damage after that. FUT just able to plant their feet, hold on to this round nicely, but they haven't grabbed the spike just yet.
Oh, the instant dink into the spray down. Leo coming up with a second. Ada Captain going to be taken out. Another flash sent. Yet
big Joe.
Nice timing. Does catch Chronicle unaware.
Yeah, big Joe. UTJ's been great, man.
Man starting to come
Damn, bro. UTJ just winning this round.
Now it's all on Durka. Drops down, grabs a
yeah,
weapon,
he
but
did.
cannot steady it fast enough. Yetijay, another big round from him. He gets FUT up to 5.
Yeah, Fnatic.
5's pretty decent. I mean, they lost pistol. 5 is huge, to be honest.
Times. And FUT has good reads, especially on that drop down, knowing that Durka likes to come right out the back of that fake out. And Yetijay knows that he can step up there, find a timing on that drop down. And they're just doing a really good job here, finding that open space as Yetijay.
And this is something that we weren't seeing from him in that last series. Teams weren't giving him the time of day, weren't giving him the opportunity, but Yetijay right now looking strong, looking like the player we know he can be. But speaking of players, let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit on Alfier in our Omen player moment.
I mean, I'm feeling...
Everyone steals from everyone? Yeah.
I expect we're gonna win. They play an unexpected.
Why wouldn't you? You got a lot. I mean, I say a lot. There's not too many teams that innovate, but
expect what they do.
There's people, there's teams that you'll write names down for.
Team like after a long time, first time. Maybe that's why we just struggling a bit.
Took the TP to get to the other side of the map. Meanwhile, Leo able to clean up one more. Alfier converted! And 2 fall! Landing onto the third is Alfier!
I mean, of course we're gonna prepare for next match, and for me, like, I'm just a bit sad, but I know we can win in every game. And when you go to lower, you have much more match, and I just want to play like more match. That's why I'm happy to be lower, and I'm also a bit upset because I'm gonna eliminate Turkish team or they're gonna eliminate Turkish player. Like, it's a bit sad. I think they are really good. They are a really good team actually. I think we are best.
Whenever we see people innovate as more players or coaches, we have no idea the issue. You get an idea sometimes, like K-Corp is obviously the coach, just because we've seen it before on Gambit, and then we saw the individuals from Gambit go to other teams. Maybe those teams not innovate. Like I think Liquid with Red Guard's like the best example. And then K-Corp obviously had like all of the stuff that Gambit was doing, like innovation-wise. So sometimes you can work it out, but a lot of the time we have no idea.
So it just comes down to coordination, especially with that Yoru in play. Like, how are you?
And then you have to listen to like interviews as well. Like the FPX guy is the FPX innovation is from their coach as well.
With this Fnatic comp that they have crafted here for Split, the good news is Durka is on one, and if he can find those good timings, he can start wreaking some serious havoc.
Yeah, I mean right now 2x, the next highest kill count on his team. CNED looking to try to hold things over at ramp. Chronicle just going to be tucked away into the corner as Yetijay is taking a very aggressive line.
Alpha knows.
Alpha seemingly reading it, but not ready for it.
This kid's been so good.
Finds that kill. Mr. Fallen just going to be dropping back, giving up some space over here in Mail. The rest of Fnatic though, got to start
the giant jewel
towards A. A little peek in towards the vent.
Look at Durka.
But even with that kill, still a little bit of a slower approach. Durka. The timing a little bit whiffy at the start, but gets the mark all the same. Mr. Fallen going to be taken down now. Man advantage here.
I like this from Yetijay though. He pushes spawn. They have no idea. Man, we're gonna have a weird duel. Really weird duel. Respect.
So wise here from Chronicle.
Damn, how is he that on it?
Footsteps heard. Durka still lingering forward. Sets up the gate crash.
Someone else here.
How aggressively he wants to play this.
I don't think so. Shot. Bro, he's actually back.
Absolutely star-studded round from Durka.
Double pistol. They get a revenge from the first split that they played.
Now I believe he's got
in
21.
playoffs.
It's just amazing patience here from Fnatic. even though Alpha loses his battle, that kind of gives a little bit of extra confidence to Cracks.
Going around the corner here so the flash didn't hit was
they
lovely.
can really smother Fnatic out of the round, but Chronicle wise to
Luckin 3 with the tier 1. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate the 6 months.
The readjust, the vertical flick to find the headshot, not give CNED any opportunity to use that headhunter. What a reaction.
Yeah, that was really nice. Okay,
Look at this
the
buy.
pistol counters. It's 2-0.
And then just a classic for Boaster. So looking to try to make this bonus very, very strong. CNED, the headhunter, out towards mid. Just checking with the cam, just in case somebody was peeking through that smoke.
Blind spot, but they're still not jiggling wide enough. Now cam back through. Shot going to be sent, but CNED having to pull off the angle. Rendezvous back to safety. Looks to try to reinforce this A site.
Great read there with that cam. Buys them so much extra opportunity to try to close through, but are they going to be ready for Cracks?
Boombot to mail, so they haven't necessarily scouted him, but you can see them just still staring in this direction. But Poster,
He did good. Realized he had like a second before this camera spots him.
That's okay. That was just your classic buy.
Yeah, that's the person they're allowed to die. And they kind of have another one that they're allowed to die as well.
Also your smokes.
Yeah.
And your paranoia, so.
That's okay.
Could lead to some more damage being dealt here, but we'll see how FUT do fare.
4 bullets for CNED.
I mean, it's just completely surrounded here for the most part. Big up coming through. Here's the cam set up. Paranoia up in towards heaven. Drifting over.
Chronicle.
Oh, but the cam. The timing.
Bro, this guy's owning him with a cam. This is the kind of stuff where I think like double info sentinel, there's a world that kind of comp would work. Because this kind of default here was a prime example.
Still 3 players to try to work through. More damage from here can very much be dealt by FUT if they can find some additional kills. Rifles in hand, they would love to take those out. Now they're going to find
It's really nice. Yeah, if you just look at this one round, right, we had camera middle to spot middle. Then we have camera into vent to spot vent. Then we have the camera over to heaven as well to spot heaven. Like it's a whole default that is all round using the camera to just get them info the whole time. Instead of just using it on the luck, we're just using it aggro.
You know, we've seen it on a knife's edge with some of the util in hands for Fnatic. We saw Boaster with his TP in the previous half. This time around he's able to switch.
Heard the drop down, but I was gonna say if he goes
Double sentinel, yeah. I think the camera and like alarm bot, or if you were thinking maybe chamber, like the whatever it's called, just a little thing that's like an alarm bot. Like them to actually go aggro and clear map control on the default on attack. It could work well, maybe in the current meta, to be honest.
On this Yoru to see exactly what some of these setups are going to look like. You know, because sometimes you have to take a bit of space early on split with a Yoru to make sure that those
Kron's still on the initiator. Yeah, kind of.
Really
that's what it felt like a little bit.
Opponents unsettled and get yourself a ton of extra room. This one's just going to go all the way up towards mid, right next, but I think it's cleared there, or just faked.
I like this. This is a good default at the moment. So they smoked vision off here, and then they had the Yoru TP land in the corner of middle, so they actually create a question mark. They don't know that it's a question mark for sure. They create the pressure that they now could be in vents.
A little bit of noise made there. Had a captain just swinging back and forth. CNED spotting at the poster. Pulls away, likely worried about a paranoia potentially coming through. And then a rush play from Alpha behind it.
So I think Viper's going to fall off after the event. Nah, I think Viper's really, really strong still.
2 big ults now for the side of Fnatic to try
it was a good nerf.
Get this converted.
But all the nerf really did is just make sure that the team isn't going to use it on a scent. That's about it.
Spotting out one. Bumps into him, he's looking for more. The captain now going to be noted here at elbow.
And maybe Lotus. People need to rethink it, but yeah, a little bit of info. Raised a good amount of questions to where he could be. 30 seconds. Hey, clone over towards B. We've got camera aggro again to get map control. Yetajay holding B. I mean, FUT should win this just purely because of Yetajay. Saying that. Giant kill.
Shuts him down, but Yetajay, decent timing, swings in.
Wait, he's playing a bit too aggro because of the time.
A lot more work to be done for now. He's on lonesome with him falling.
That was him making a solo play because there's 15 seconds left. He misplayed it.
Especially now, activating a trap wire.
Just full awareness. Chronicle tucking back. They're still pushing forward, and he has an opportunity to deal so much damage here. Waiting for the timing.
Oh, respect to Mr. Fallon.
Does shut it down.
Yeah, Alpha's still low. That still is his Ormond flash.
Paranoia, not catching anybody. Backside setup, Leo finding one, Durka getting the other.
Hey, nice. Those are really good after plants. Like they had all of the crossfires.
Doubling FUT scoreline as they reach 10.
Yeah, just great mid-rounding here from Fnatic.
Yeah, I feel like Yetajay kind of messed up a little bit. He just got to hold B main here the whole time. The guy in B maybe goes kill away as well.
To just go to the other side, and that's a huge opening win for Alpha. That breaks up so much space. Yetajay then left on an island. The other 3 players, 4 FUT on the other side of the map. Fnatic just reads it so nicely. And it just all comes down to the calling on that one. I mean, it helps you have the ult as well to get the info. And it's just a beautiful read from Fnatic, and they're trying to push some space towards B early, but gonna think better.
Chat's aggressive today. Let's do longer timeouts or something. How about that?
This time by Cracks, getting closer to that showstopper, but still 3 orbs away. So a lot to go for this ult rotation. 4 FUT.
Yeah, everyone's starting to steal the K-Corp trim.
Not wanting to give that.
It's so funny. It's like all of the, because Heretics were doing this as well. So it's this was around for this has been around for like a whole year, right? And everyone's been playing Cypher, but we've only really been seeing this trip loads this year, and it's just purely because like it just snowballs, right? Only one team in the EMEA was ever using this trip, and then everyone starts using it in practice. Weber was talking about teams using it in practice and they stealing it from practice. And then now we're seeing literally every EMEA team with a Cypher do this default.
Rendezvous, CNED still looking to try to push forward as they're reading this beautifully. Yetajay completely expected and dealt with. Durka finding that kill.
A good stun on site. That was a great stun on site. It was an unreal stun on site. TP into the back. The thing that I love at the moment from Fnatic as well is they're probably looking at the game they played and they're like, well, we just need to make sure that we're ready how to counter their fast B, and they haven't gone for their fast B yet.
Didn't need to be.
Because that's what they ran against them every buy round.
Good mid control taken again here by Fnatic. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a timeout from FUT to try to address that in some way. Because that's cost them some of these rounds. You give so much space to pivot.
And then if they time out, I wonder if they just go fast B.
Captain. Can he win this one? Oh, yeah.
But he can. He still eats damage though. Teleports across, but the fault line still connects. Durka.
What is Durka's score?
3 kills from him once again. It's Fnatic move up 11-5.
K-Corp are the meta leaders, bro. Is last year's K-Corp. Maybe they had 2 things that were like good that teams could steal. Lotus, Viper Smoke,
to try to turn things around.
Everything else could probably put it in the bin, to be honest.
Fnatic so much room to maneuver on this map when you're seeding mid control that much and not having backup plans to follow it, and it makes them tough when you've got players like Chronicle that are going to be getting their traps a little bit deeper sometimes. We saw that where you got one into ropes and you're able to get tons of information on those late rotations or those retake attempts from the side of FUT. Just really shutting them out right now are Fnatic. This is just incredible how well they're playing, and FUT just looks like they still haven't recovered from that match against 100 Thieves.
Yeah. I mean, Yetajay, solid performance. Cracks just right there nipping at his teammates' heels. But we're not seeing that impact from CNED whatsoever.
That's a good point.
And it was, you know, again, going back to the most recent matchup on split between these squads.
Yeah, who line up on the
CNED,
scent? That's true. Yeah, people could do that.
Turkish battle to see who was going to be able to come out on top, and it was narrowly Fnatic. Right now, though, it's looking mighty absent. Operator going to be coming through here for him.
Okay, so timeout goes in, and so I would be tempted to call the B hit, where they Yori flash like here, and then TP to the back, because that's like their best strat that they've got, or at least their strat that they used to beat them last time. And while they're trying to now just actually try and get ready for like a lot of the default pressure, I feel like doing a big hit like that could work very well.
Placed pretty far forward at garage. Yeah, now you're starting to get this creep up forward.
Yeah, I love this. So we have okay again, camera to spot over towards B. Cleared all the B, put the trip down. Camera to bottom and middle. Now clears all the middle, so they realize that they can swing out and take it. They are literally using the Cypher like essentially how Sky would just be. Just getting info. Picks up the camera again. Is he going to just do it before they go in? Yeah, we're going to see the B hit. This is a pretty obvious call, though, so I would expect FUT to be ready for this, but Durka going to go here and do his flash.
Get set up and push through garage.
Oh, no, we're going something different. He's going to be with the ult.
Mr. Fallen, but not sure if he's going to spot too much. Just one over Ramen, and that doesn't really tell them much of anything. So now the dimensional drift going to be coming through, so Durka can tell all.
Oh, this is huge. This just makes it so difficult.
Yeah,
now
gotta leave sight, really.
On this site. Here we go.
The rush now coming through, and they are just not quite prepared
Huge,
for
man.
Mr.
Yeah,
Fallen,
they're so good with the info.
Durka down, but the site now very much in the hands of Fnatic. And a retaking from this position when CNED, he doesn't have any headhunter bullets.
This was hard to deal with, though. Your ult's just so strong. Your ult with like a breach and an omen.
There's a showstop on the opposite side. Not impossible here for the side of FUT. TP up into the smoke.
Yeah, and they kind of got to save.
Out of Captain, dead. Alpha able to collect that with relative ease. And that's just going to be CNED now hightailing it out, trying to get himself out to safety to hold on to this operator.
Fnatic is an info team. Yeah, they've always been an info team. That's why I was talking a little bit earlier about the fact that the comp, like the fact that the meta doesn't really suit them. Like Sky getting nerfed, and Sky was the best to go like, if this hits, we do this, right? If this Sky Flash hits, then we do this. If this dog gets info, then we do this. And they had infinite amount of info because of the Sky reflash. And then Sky goes out, and they kind of just lost a little bit on some of these maps where they used to use Sky.
Good stuff, good coordination from Fnatic, and
yeah, they're a heavy team that is based around protocol. Like even Doombro said that he used to anti it a lot, where it would be like, if they got info here, what would they do next? They've just been that team of, we get info with a bit of util, and then we do this or this call. And then that makes both the calling easier, and then they don't have to focus on other stuff.
Absolute brutality here.
Yeah, 7.
Potentially
one of the worst. My 7, I tell you what, chat, 7s haunt me, man. 7s aren't good. I can't draw them.
The way that he's been playing, it's definitely
good for it.
It's definitely in the cards. And Krax really wants this orb. Jumps across.
Yeah, and they try and punish the default, and there's the trap, and the trap gets a kill. The trap got the kill. That's sick.
30 bomb not going to be possible. If they end the map here, I don't think Durka's too concerned about it.
No.
Just wants to get himself over to Lotus.
Can mark that trap wire kill on your bingo card.
Yeah, that's a rare one.
No, you certainly do not. Jay just sat here behind boxes in mid, but no one gonna give him the time of day. No one gonna go pushing through. All of Fnatic now just shifting back over here into
this though was an overall masterclass. Like you put everything together, it was a masterclass. We had two double new ults for the Euro on defense. Right? Like I might actually do a video of this because it was just a great bit of anti, really. Not necessarily anti, just the mix up that Fnatic did. Whoa. Just as a complimenting them, they go for a mental play.
Great read here from CNED, but still in a very rough position to try to retake the site.
30 seconds left.
Those are peeking for it there, trying to utilize that smoke.
Might give me time to talk a little bit though. I'll see after this.
Alert him. He's gonna have to break this trip. For now, we'll just play this out quietly and wait for the rotate from Mr. Fallen. The Seeker's now coming through. A 3v3. Possible 4 foot.
Tripwire destroyed.
There's the wire. Chronicle now aware of Yettaj's position, ready for the swing timing. Flash sent. CNED in a bad spot. It's going to be taken down.
That was the duel.
Finding himself a third. The swing
Yeah, that was the duel.
We'll finish it off.
Nicely done. This was a bit of a masterclass, honestly. It really was.
To even get close here in this opener.
Fnatic looking